Good evening, Jordan. Wanted to ask about last year's Vanderbilt game. If you remember, there was no game, actually. That's the question. It was canceled twice, postponed, then canceled the regular season. What do you remember about that? Was it anger? Was it frustration on your part? And does it at all figure into playing them this week?
I remember it vividly, and the only thing I remember about the game is that it was after when I got hurt, and those were one of the games that we're planning on shooting for my recovery time, and not being able to play for Vandy, had to wait another week. It was a little not. It's like a little bit of a but at that point, you just got to move on, and obviously for everybody, Corona is something not to play with, and I understand completely, if they were short staffed or had like a little bit of players, but it's just one of those things that you just got to press on. But nowadays, moving forward, it's just the next game we got to play, and it just happens that Vandy's in our way, so we just have to take care of business that way.
Jordan, obviously you've been a part of some good Georgia defenses. I'm curious about what you think of this one in terms of how it might be different and the personality that you think you guys have.
Well, over the all season, we had a lot of time to spend with each other, and we gelled together, especially in our school session. So that's one of the big positives over this year. And comparatively, people come and go, but the standard's still the same. We want to make sure that we play our lights out defense every week, and we have to get better. But it's just one of those things that is more enjoyable this time around because truly know your brother and know who you're playing with. That's one of the biggest things for this year.
Let's go to Chip Towers and then Anthony Dasher.
Yeah, Jordan, officially I got you with two tackles outside, two sideline tackles, two outside the tackle box tackles. It may be more than that. Are you keeping up with that? It seems like your lateral pursuit has improved leaps and bounds this season.
I haven't been keeping up with it. I just try to make the plays that come to me. And, I just seen it. And the crazy thing, the UAB, the quarterback looked at me and we locked eyes for a second. And then he just ducked his head and took off running. I was like, man, I got to get him at this point. I had to keep going. So that's, it's fun, like seeing it in hindsight. But, it's just one of those things, it's just if you can make it, you can make it. If you can't, then, a teammate will make it. But it's just, it's fun watching it.
Sure is.
Hey, Jordan, good to see you tonight. I know you guys, Coach Smart talks a lot about playing to a standard. I just want to know for you as an individual, when they talk about Jordan Davis playing to your own personal standard, what would that be?
Just winning. I just want to do everything I can to win. That's pretty much my whole goal here. I love to win. I'd rather improve off a win than improve off a loss. So, I just want to do whatever it takes to win. And at this point, it's me like just running to the ball and me playing blocks for the linebackers. Every game's not going to be my game, but I just want to do everything that I can.
Let's go to Jake Rowe and then Mike Griffith.
Jordan, from a tackle for a loss standpoint, pass rush standpoint, those things, what did you do to improve in that area this offseason? It seems like you're having more of an impact kind of behind the line of scrimmage, and I was just curious as to what you've done to get yourself ready for that.
Honestly, it's just the preparation that we did over the offseason. We really emphasized getting off the ball and getting to the backfield and just being disruptive. I feel like if you're in the backfield, you're already disruptive and half the battle is won. But when you just go out there and you want to be disruptive and cause havoc, which we emphasize on our defense, that's one of those things you have to do. That's one of the things that we take pride in on the defensive line.
Jordan, I know you've put in just a ton of work behind the scenes to get to where you're at, but when you see yourself, on the ESPN highlight clips, or you're able to track down, do you ever surprise yourself and say, man, I can't believe that's me, or man, I'm chasing these guys down now?
I do surprise myself sometimes. But then again, it's like I have to critique myself as well. I look at it and be like, dang, I could have played this block a little bit better. Even though I made the tackle, it's still going to show up as a minus on the film review. So You just, it would be like Coach Scott would be like, good tackle minus. And then it's just like, oh man. But, it's just one of those things, we carry ourselves as perfectionists. And, in this game, it's hard to be perfect. But, you just want to keep doing whatever you can to be at least close to perfect as you can every week.
Let's go to Matthew and then Vance.
Yeah, I'm Jordan. Jordan, I'm just wondering how is it like working with Nazir Stackhouse? What have you seen out of his progression, and how do you think he can have an impact in a game where you guys are really expected to dominate on the line?
Man, Nas gives me kind of the vibes that me and Mike B had when I was first introduced in this program, and it's just good because I remember Mike B was telling me, you got to give back. It just because somebody did it for him. I would do it for Nas, and hopefully Nas will carry on and do it for somebody else that comes in. But it's just one of those things, you see his progression, and you see just even outside of Nas, every D lineman, see how far they came. It's still room for improvement. Even still room for improvement for the 1s, 2s, 3s, and 4s. But, it's just like when you see it, and you with him every day, you spend that time with him, it's amazing because, his potential is like limitless. And I think he's definitely closer than ever to becoming great. And, it's just that 1-2 punch, Nas coming in, it should be no drop off. So that's one of the standards that we have for him. So, he's doing well and adjusting and doing well. So props out to him.
Hey, Jordan, we got Channing the week after the Clemson game. He talked about how focused you were, but, it seems like you also like to keep everyone loose. How do you sort of juggle when it's time to be loose with your teammates and when it's time to, get serious and show that type of leadership?
I'll say focus is probably the day of the game. I like to stay loose as long as I can. And, but every game is like a business trip. You have a task at hand, you want to execute it. So you focus on, your mind is on business or, mob, what Coach Scott say. So it's just one of those things you have to, it's time and a place, game day, it's that time. So, I have to get locked in, but, I also want to be loose. I can't, you'll go crazy in this game if you're not loose. It's just so much going in, so much work you put in. You got to be able to stay focused and stay light at the same time. So it's definitely a balancing act, but it's a fun one at that.
Let's go to Palmer and then Connor.
Yeah, Jordan, Kirby was saying that this is probably the most athletic front seven that he's worked with. Who do you think is the most athletic guy in that front seven?
That's hard to put on one guy. I mean, we all athletes. Everybody on the team is an athlete, but I don't know. That's a good question. But yeah, I'll say everybody. We all swarm. We all push each other, and yeah, we got some athletes around the board. I couldn't even put one on there.
Hey, Jordan, with Jamaree Salyer, what has he done well as the offensive tackle, and what have you seen from him as an offensive guard, and what sort of allows him to be successful at both?
Look, Jamaree can play every position on the offensive line, so that's one thing he got going for him. He's experienced in all of them. He's been here with Drew, with Solly, with everybody who left, Trey Hill, Lamont Galliard. So he knows, pretty much inside and out on that offensive line. And, he's able, he's like a Swiss Army knife. And, you just throw him in anywhere. Primarily he's a left tackle, but shoot, he could play left guard as well. He's like a Swiss Army knife. That's probably the best thing I can say for him. You can stick him anywhere.
Let's go to Tyler and then Jed.
Hey, the media loves to debate about the best defenses around the country. Did y'all as players ever like to pay attention to the rankings and just like try to be the best?
Not really pay attention to the rankings. We definitely try to be the best. We try to get more takeaways, more sacks. And I think if you focus on the individual things, then the rankings will take care of itself. We want to do whatever you can in the game, cause havoc. So whatever happens at the end, whatever we rank, that's what it is. But we just want to do whatever we can to win.
Yeah, Jordan. Quay was saying that early in his career when he got here, I think he said he was in a dark place is the word he used, like trying to understand the playbook and all that kind of stuff. Just what do y'all remember about him during that time, and kind of how did y'all as teammates help him to kind of get out of it and get to where he is now?
Quay been putting in that work. Quay been looking at the book, listening to meetings, and just like understanding like the ins and outs of everything. And even for as a D lineman, it's confusing to me because Quay got to know what the D line is doing, what the DB is doing, and what he's doing. So it's just a lot to juggle. But the fact that he's able to pick up that and carry on and lead his defense, it just shows you the amount of work he been putting in. So I'm proud of Quay. It's definitely nice to have him behind me. It's nice to have all the linebackers behind me, but Quay been putting in work, and I'm just proud of him.
Okay, JD, thanks for your time, and have a good rest of your day.
Thank you, everybody. I'll see y'all.